fire departments in McLean County are suiting up to be better equipped to handle the nationwide opioid crisis. Madison Porter joins us in studio to explain what they're buying with the county settlement funds and why it's needed.
Lizzie, in the most recent data available, Chestnut Health Systems reports a 25% increase in overdose deaths in McLean County from 2022 to 2023, which is why small-town fire departments are excited to use $50,000 to buy the newest cardiac monitor. McLean County is expecting to receive $400,000 from a nationwide attempt to hold companies responsible for their role in the opioid crisis, half of which will be given to fire protection districts. A new intergovernmental agreement requires using the funds to buy supplies for opioid treatment, education, and prevention, like a cardiac monitor.
On any patient from a chest pain to a overdose patient, it will show us all their levels, and it will allow us to treat them based off of what we see on the monitor.
Lexington Fire Department is just one of many that applied for this money. Without the funds, the EMS supervisor estimates it would have taken more than 5 years to save up the $55,000 the LifePak 35 costs.
We only receive money from taxes, and being a small community with a lot of farmland, there's not a lot of housing, so property taxes are hard to come by.
Mount Hope Funk's Grove set the precedent after getting its own cardiac monitor. Fire Chief Eric Folk says he approached county administrators recommending they open up the opioid funding to other rural departments.
Grants will help a small department make a bigger pre-hospital impact with the latest and greatest diagnostic and emergency medical technology available in the field.